Yes, we were still not speaking Payalji. So yeah, the session will start in a minute.
Namaste, Naina ji. Namaste, Sindhuja ji. Namaste, Madhu garu.
Namaste, Ruchi ji, and namaste to all others. Namaste.
Namaste.
Yes, Ruchi, I think we shall start the session now.
Okay. Okay. So you're able to hear me?
Yeah.
You're able to hear me, right? Okay. So, namaste, all the masters, and I welcome you all to the book reading session on Autobiography of a Yogi by Master Paramahansa Yogananda. And as always, let's pay our gratitude to the Divine Mother, to Mahavatar Babaji, Tehri Mahasyaji, and Paramahansa Yogananda ji. So, masters, before we start with the session, I would like to invite any one of you, if you would like to take the initiative of very briefly sharing in just 2-3 lines of what we did or what we spoke about in the previous session. So anyone, please unmute yourself and you're most welcome to share it.
I think now people can unmute. So if anyone would like to unmute yourself, please go ahead, my dear friends. So if not, then I will be sharing Ruchi. As I have mentioned, yeah, we have discussed about the levitating saint and also about Master Mahasaya. And I know why you are mentioning, because how Yogananda was looking for a guru and asking Master Mahasaya, like, why don't he be his guru? And then Guruji said, like, your guru will be coming soon. So just wait for that. I believe now is the time for that, right?
Yes. Nilima, thank you so much for bringing this out so beautifully about discussion on the last session. Yes. So, masters, as it is said that the greatest blessing in the 3 worlds is to have the guidance of a true guru. And we know that Yogananda, he had been yearning to meet his guru for a very, very long time. Although he had seen glimpses of his guru during his meditations, still he was not sure on when he would meet his guru, when would he find his guru. And today, friends, we will learn how this deepest desire of Yogananda, it gets fulfilled. So, masters, we know that Yogananda, he had promised his father that before embarking on his spiritual quest, he would complete his high school studies. And Yogananda, he hardly used to attend his high school lessons because most of his time was devoted for his meditations on finding how to commune with the divine. So he did not used to attend any of his school and the lessons of the school. And now was the time for his final exams. And he had no idea on what he would write in the final exams because he had not attended his school. So you can very well imagine the nervousness and the anxiousness Yogananda he might be having. Even we have, when we have no preparation for the exams and we just have to write our exams, then you can well imagine the kind of anxiety and the nervous.
I think, Ruchi, your video got stuck. Maybe there might be internet issues, friends. Let us wait for some time. Friends, by the way, are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
I also just saw that just Ruchi ji got stuck, but all the others were properly.
Yeah, that's what made me a bit confusing. Yeah, we will wait for 5 minutes and then we see. I'll try to reach her out. Maybe meanwhile, friends, let us meditate. I request you all to meditate, even if it is for 5 minutes. Let us sit comfortably. So yes, my dear friends, and then let us start our meditation for 10 minutes. So please sit in a comfortable posture by closing your eyes, fingers into fingers, and cross your legs. In order to hear about the Yogananda's Guru, let us meet our inner Guru, which is our breath. So just be with your breath. There's a great learnings in every moment. When we turn inward, we realize ourselves. When we accept ourselves without any judgments, Be with your breath. Just 5 more minutes, my dear friends. It's a great time honoring our gurus. Do not open your eyes. Only 5 minutes. The real guru does not make any disciple. The real guru creates many masters. And so you are all. Just 2 more minutes. Be with your breath. Slowly bring back your awareness. Last 1 minute. Let us be grateful for all our gurus in our life. Even the persons who kept us in difficult situations, we learned. And they are also our gurus. Just last 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Now slowly place your palms over your eyes for a few seconds. And once you are ready, you may remove your hands and you may open your eyes. So, welcome back, my dear friends. Thanks all of you. Yes, Ruchi, I think we can start our session. That was great energies actually indeed we all need. So everything happens for a purpose. Yeah.
Yes, Masters, I'm really sorry. The Wi-Fi got disconnected all of a sudden, and so I had to restart it. So, Nilima, should I start from the beginning or from where I left?
I think in this slide you were explaining, so I think
I continue from here.
Yeah.
Okay, Masters, welcome back. So, Masters, now Yogananda, he had to give his exam. And now he started praying to the divine, that divine, please help me. I have my exam tomorrow and I have no idea what I will be writing in for the exam. And Masters, as we know, that the divine, he works through his instruments. So the very next day, Yogananda, when he went to his school, he met his classmate Nantu. And Nantu, he was a brilliant student. So Nantu came in as a divine instrument and he helped Yogananda by pointing out all the important questions. And obviously, in the exam, only and only those questions came. And Yogananda, he cleared his high school exam without much problem. So, Masters, now Yogananda, he had completed his high school studies with the help of Nantu, and now he was free to fulfill his spiritual aspirations. And we remember that his father had told Yogananda that you are free to do whatever you want, but complete your high school studies. And now Yogananda he had fulfilled his promise that he had made to his father, and now he was free to follow this yogic path. Though Yogananda's father and Yogananda's eldest brother Ananta, they were still reluctant for Yogananda to follow this yogic path, but Yogananda's love for God was supreme, and he left his family to join the Banaras Hermitage. And while he was in the hermitage, Yogananda, he realized that his prized possession of the silver amulet, it had just vanished. And we know this from the previous sessions that Yogananda, he had received this silver amulet from his mother, which a sadhu, a saint, had given to her, and it was already predicted that when this amulet has served its purpose, then it shall vanish on its own. And it did vanish now. And this left Yogananda sad and unhappy because this amulet had been him with so many years, and now all of a sudden it just got vanished. And now Yogananda is in a hermitage in Banaras, but Yogananda, he realized that the hermitage in Banaras, its work, its way of working, its ideals, they were very different from the ideals of Yogananda. You know, Yogananda's practice of meditation for long hours, it was not welcomed and it was not appreciated in this hermitage. And Yogananda's desire to commune with the divine was also not welcomed there. So, all this made Yogananda question whether he did the right thing of coming to this hermitage, leaving his family behind. So with this question and with this sadness in his heart, he sat in for meditation. And with tears in his eyes, he prayed earnestly to the divine, that divine, please send my guru. Now I cannot continue further in my life, and please send my guru. And just then, masters, a voice came to him that said that your guru will come today. And with tears still in his eyes, Yogananda, he had to visit the market for some hermitage work. And at the end of the lane in the market, Yogananda's eyes met the saintly looking man. And instantly he felt familiarity. This divine face was the one Yogananda had seen 1,000 times in his visions. This was the moment when the disciple has met his guru and the guru his disciple. So without even exchanging their names or their whereabouts, the guru, he knew everything about Yogananda. And surprisingly, the guru said that do not be sad for the vanished amulet, as it has served its purpose. And now Yogananda was amazed by his clairvoyance, because Yogananda had not even uttered a word on who he is, and he had not obviously told anything about the amulet. And the guru joyfully further said that I have waited for you for so many years. And friends, the guru, who was in attunement with the divine, knew the past, present, and the future of Yogananda. And Yogananda could sense that his guru knew God and that his guru would lead him to the divine. And now the guru, just to test Yogananda, the guru said that I would give you all my ashrams, all my possessions, all my wealth that I have. And Yogananda, with all his innocence and his earnest desire only to know God, he said that I just want God realization. I just want wisdom. And now the guru was happy that Yogananda, he was serious, he was sincere in his spiritual quest. And all that mattered to him was to find the divine. And so the guru finally said that I will give you my unconditional love. Will you also give me the same unconditional love? And with childlike faith and trust in his guru, Yogananda said that I will love you eternally, Gurudev. So friends, you can well imagine this meeting of Yogananda with his guru for the first time. It was so heartwarming, and it was so much filled with divine love. The guru, who was clairvoyant, he knew everything, and he had waited patiently for this moment when the disciple was ready to start his discipleship. And this was the moment. So now, masters, finally, Yogananda asked the guru, what's your name? Because till this time, he doesn't know even the name of his guru. And the guru said, Swami Yukteswar. And Swami Sri Yukteswar, he further said that in 4 weeks' time, you will come to my ashram in Sirampur, which is in Bengal, to commence your journey as a disciple. And Yogananda, he was already not happy in his Banaras hermitage, and so he left his Banaras hermitage for good to meet his brother Ananta, who was now working in Agra in a good government position. So now Yogananda, he has met his guru, and the guru has told that you would come to me in my ashram to start your training as a disciple in 4 weeks' time. So Yogananda, he leaves the hermitage in Banaras where he currently was. And so he just thinks that, okay, let me meet my family during this time. And so he goes to meet his eldest brother, Ananta, who is now working in Agra in a very good government position. And we already know that his brother Ananta, he had tried so many times to discourage and to dissuade Yogananda from following the yogic path. And even this time, he tried to convince Yogananda that he should try to, he should think about earning money, as money is very important. Everyone has to live in this world. And without money, your life will be similar to that of a beggar. And who knows that life may be too long. But Yogananda's faith and devotion in divine was resolute. He said that money is God's slave, and God can devise 1,000 resources other than begging. And who can tell? Life may be too short. And friends, just to add here that the life of Yogananda's eldest brother Ananta, it came to an early close, which we will learn soon. So, in this way, the two brothers, they were arguing, and Ananta was yet again trying to dissuade Yogananda from following the spiritual path. And now comes a very interesting and an enchanting episode. So now Ananta says, and he challenges Yogananda and he puts forward a proposal. He says that, you have so much faith in the divine, you have so much trust in the divine, but I have no faith, I have no trust. And if you accept my challenge, then I will also have faith and I will also have trust in the divine. But you first have to accept this challenge and you have to win, what I am telling you to do so. So he laid this in front of Yogananda, that Yogananda and his fellow disciple, whose name was Jitendra, they should visit a nearby city of Banaras, of Vrindavan, and they should not take a penny with them, and they should not reveal their plight to anyone. They should not miss any of their meals. They should not beg for food or anything, and they should reach back to Ananta's bungalow before 12 o'clock in the night. So Ananta said that if you are able to do this, then I will also have faith in the God and I will become your disciple. So, this was a very difficult test which Ananta had laid in front of Yogananda. That, you go to a new city and I'll just give you a one-way ticket to that city without even a single penny in your pocket. And you should make sure that you have all the meals on time and you should see the city around and then you should come back. So you should have money, from somewhere that you are able to buy a return ticket and come back to my place before 12 o'clock. And friends, at that moment, Yogananda, he remembered all the memories, it got flashed in front of Yogananda's eyes about how the divine had always helped him, how the divine had helped him to get cure of the deadly Asiatic cholera when he was just 8 years old, how he
Friends, I think once again we have the internet issues. So if anyone is already reading this book and were in this chapter, maybe you could also share your understanding of it as well. It would be very nice to hear. So or you could even share about your journey, how your journey is going on after you started to listen these sessions and you started to read this book. Or can anyone would like to share? Because we have been hearing right from his childhood, the journey of Paramahansa Yogananda, and we have been listening about many saints. So, come on, friends. Even the small point that, it has touched you, that you have remembered, it will be nice to understand. Anyone?
Okay.
Yes, Nagendraji.
I started reading the book, 2-3 weeks ago, and when she started, the first session, and but I could not read it continuously. But yeah, for me, I was thinking like, this his life. I think it started somewhere around 1900, right? So, which is what 125 years ago. So I was just trying to relate that time, and he was coming from a upper middle class family. So he could have all the good. Let's say if he correlate with the present situation, he could have at that time the best of entertainment or best of extra curricular hobbies or whatever. But he chose this path, and he was meeting different masters was like a training for him to it was a learning for him. He was also the way he was sometimes talking to some master some these great masters in a little bit of I wouldn't say he was not insulting them, but he was a bit I would say arrogant or whatever. He was not. He did not really respect what they were doing or what they, for example, this perfume saint, and but it was all part of his learning. So he was also learning. He was not, he was not enlightened being from childhood. Yeah, he was also learning, and I think it was a two-way process. So finally, after meeting so many great saints, he could meet Yukteswar Baba. So, so for me, up to now, it's just a journey of Mukund Mukund Lal Ghosh. Yeah? So far, he's only learning. So it's very interesting. If we relate it to to the present times, I mean, we also have so much possibilities to do what we want with our life, with our free time. But so this is something it's a conscious decision for everyone. What path you want to choose, where you want to grow, in how you want to treat people. So for me, yeah, it's very interesting to relate and try to see look at it in a very critical manner also. I don't when I read something, I try to read in between the lines also, because this book was written I think with the English author as well, so both of them together have written this. So whenever you look at any incidents in the book, you have to always keep in mind that there can be some influence by the English author as well. Yeah, so because so you have to really go to the very basic, and the only the incidents, and then try to make your judgment on what he said and what he learned. So I mean, I'm enjoying the sessions, and I'm also listening to Ruchi's perspective, and it's good. It's fantastic. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot for coming forward and sharing, Nagendraji. Yes, as you mentioned, it all started from 1893, the year that he has born. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, Ruchi. So we were just having a short sharing on our beautiful transformation journey, because this book itself is already a great, like there's quite a lot of learnings, right? So we have been taking that shortly. So thank you for coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, I think today, Nilima, the presence of the Guru is so strong that it is making us realize that one should never underestimate a Guru. And that is why the Wi-Fi is going again and again. And yes, so I'm back. And let's pay our gratitude to all the Gurus, to Swami Shri Yukteswar Ji. And I hope that the Wi-Fi doesn't disconnect now and we are able to have a smooth session. Thank you so much for being here, Masters. And thank you, Nilima, for taking this and having the short meditation in between. And thank you so much, Nagendra Ji, for your beautiful sharing and for bringing in your perspective forward to all of us. So, Masters, we were...
I think this is the slide. Yeah.
Yes, okay. So now, Masters, now Yogananda, he then remembered the time when, when the divine had helped him always. So whether it was the last minute guidance that he received in the form of Nantu and he passed his high school exams, or whether it was the vision of the Divine Mother, or whether it was meeting of his own Guru in the kiosk of the market, and many, many such experiences which are just miraculous. So they all solidified Yogananda's trust and faith in the divine. And so Yogananda, he happily accepted the challenge of his eldest brother, Ananta, and along with Jitendra, they set out for their journey to Vrindavan with just a one-way ticket and without having even a penny with them and without having a return ticket to Agra. And Jitendra, he had no wish to go in this trip because according to him, this trip was already deemed to fail. But he had no choice other than to accompany Yogananda and serve as a witness, because Ananta also wanted that somebody should go and tell him everything that happened there, and a witness was important to go along with Yogananda. And so now Jitendra and Yogananda then set out for their trip to Vrindavan. And friends, what happened next was no short of a miracle. As soon as their train reached Vrindavan, they were greeted by two men. And these two men, they were waiting for some prince and his people to come to their ashram. But this prince and his people, they could not come for some reason. And instead, these two men, they were drawn towards Yogananda and Jitendra as devotees of Lord Krishna. So these two men requested them to please come to the ashram. And in the ashram awaited a lavish meal with some 30 courses, the delicacies which they had never tasted before. And so this experience became a beautiful memory for a lifetime. And in this way, in the scorching heat of the sun, they were opportune to be invited as royal guests for an extravagant lunch. And now Jitendra was quick to remark that this lunch happened just by chance. And Yogananda, with his unshakable faith, said that the same Lord who has fed us will also show us Vrindavan around and will also make us return to Agra on time. And just as they came outside the ashram gate and they were standing under the shade of the tree, a young man named Pratap Chatterjee, he approached them. And this man said to Yogananda that I have often seen you in my meditations. You are my Guru. And today, while I was meditating, Lord Krishna appeared and said that your Guru will be coming today at this place under this very tree. So please accept my request that I have the privilege to give you a tour of Vrindavan. And so together they all visited the temples of Lord Krishna. And now it was evening time and the time to go back to Agra. And this man named Pratap, he was truly an instrument of God. Pratap, he not only purchased the return tickets for Yogananda and Jitendra, but he also handed them a bundle of rupee notes. And before departing to Agra, Yogananda, he gave Kriya Yoga initiation to Pratap and said that if you practice this diligently, you will soon find God. And soon before the clock struck 12, Yogananda, along with Jitendra, was at Ananta's bungalow. And Ananta, he was awestruck when he heard all that happened with them in Vrindavan. With tears in his eyes, Ananta said, "How shallow is my trust. My heart has been stone. Never in future shall I doubt God's protection." So Ananta, he needed no further proof of the existence of God. And with folded hands, he requested Yogananda to give him 2 Kriya Yoga initiation. And in this way, Ananta, Yogananda's eldest brother, he too became a disciple of Yogananda. So isn't it heart-touching, friends? When I think of it, I think it is nothing short of a miracle that going to a place without anything and fulfilling every little proposal that was there that Ananta challenged for, and fulfilling every little condition that laid in the challenge, just by having that faith, just by having that trust in the divine. How many times also it has happened with us that God has listened to us and God has answered our prayers. But still we prefer to remember only the things which have not been answered yet. And who knows that this delay in getting answers to our prayers is also for our highest good. And this we learn only later in life when we are able to connect the dots. So, this episode, Masters, is to show us that we should never doubt God's protection, no matter what. And they're very beautiful lines mentioned, and I'll read those lines, that never believe that you live by the power of food and not by the power of God. He who has created every form of nourishment, he who has bestowed appetite, will inevitably see that his devotee is maintained. Do not imagine that rice sustains you, nor that money or men support you. Could they aid if the Lord withdraws your life breath? These are such powerful lines. And if we understand the deeper meaning of these lines, then we will instantly be free from all the delusions that bind us. We often think, friends, that it's the food that sustains us. It is the food because of which we are able to be alive. But this delusion will also be banished when we learn about a female devotee named Giribala. Later in this book, we will learn about her. And Giribala, she had not had food. Forget about food. She had not had even water for 50 years. And she lived her life healthily, happily. So the idea that food sustains us is not correct. And then we think that it's the money that sustains us. What can money do if a person is breathing his last? Can any amount of money bring his life force back? No. And then we think that it's because of certain people in our lives on whom we are dependent, for whatever reason it may be, that we cannot live our life without them. So this is just another form of attachment, another form of delusion. No food, no money, or no person can be of any help if God withdraws his life force from us. So rather than having a belief that, rather than having a belief and trust in food, money, or people, we should have trust and faith only in the divine. And, when we think that, so we all know that when we meditate, it's a prana shakti that goes into us through the breath. That is the sole reason for our being alive. That is the sole reason we get, through which we get His grace. So we should only have firm faith and firm belief only in the infinite, which gives us that life trance, which gives us that prana shakti, which makes us have that will, which makes us have that energy to go on into life. So, friends, with this, Yogananda, he had passed a very difficult test which was laid by his eldest brother, Ananta. And now Ananta too, he had started believing in the divine, in the infinite, which he had, before he had no faith and which he had no trust on. So, masters, now Ananta, he had met, now Yogananda, he had met his brother Ananta, and now it was time to visit his guru's ashram in Serampore in Bengal to embark on his journey as a disciple under the guidance of his guru Swami Sri Yukteswar, who is also known as India's Gyan Avatar, that is, incarnation of wisdom. And for 10 years, Yogananda, he stayed with his guru for his training as a disciple. And now it was exactly 4 weeks, and Yogananda was in his ashram, as it was rightly predicted by his guru, that in exactly 4 weeks' time, you will be here to start your journey as a disciple. And now Swami Sri Yukteswar, he asked Yogananda that you should resume your further studies, that you should get your bachelor's degree. And hearing this, Yogananda, he thinks that, I just completed my high school studies, which I had no inclination to do so, only because his father wanted to. And now, when he's free to embark on the spiritual path, devoting all of his time, and now his guru is only telling that, no, you should study further, because someday you will go to the West, and then your university degree will help the people in the West to be more receptive towards you. And now Yogananda, he was very reluctant to resume his studies further. But still, he agreed to abide by his guru, since he was his guru and he could not say no to his guru. So he said to his guru that, okay, I will resume my studies, but only on one condition. And so he said that I will enroll myself for the bachelor's only if you reveal God to me, only if you let me have that divine experience. And Swami Sri Yukteswar promised that he will give that divine experience to Yogananda. So with this promise, Yogananda, he gets himself enrolled in the Calcutta University for his bachelor's degree. And now Yogananda is with his guru, and he's curious to know more about his guru, about his life, and he asks Swami Sri Yukteswar to tell something about himself. And Swami Sri Yukteswar, he very humbly answered that his family name was Priya Nath Karar, that his father, he was a wealthy businessman, and the hermitage where they were currently residing was once their ancestral mansion. And his daughter was married. And after the passing of his wife, Swami Sri Yukteswar, he joined the Swami order, and he received the new name of Swami Sri Yukteswar Giri. And he further mentioned that Lahiri Mahasaya was his guru. And hearing the name of Lahiri Mahasaya, which was the name of his own family, his parents were disciples of Lahiri Mahasaya. So Yogananda became happy. And then he recalled on how his own life was saved from the deadly Asiatic cholera through the grace of the picture of Lahiri Mahasya. And now, when they were having this conversation, so Yogananda felt that Swami Shri Yukteswar, he was only divulging the outward facts. That is who he is, about a little bit about his family, a little bit about his wife, daughter, but he was not actually revealing about who he is, about what his nature is, about, as a person, what he's like. So Yogananda, he asked his guru to tell some stories about his childhood. And the guru happily obliged, and he said that, okay, I will tell you 3 stories of my childhood, each with the moral. So let's hear these 3 stories that Swami Shri Yukteswar shared with Yogananda. So he started with the first story, and he said that when he was a child, his mother, once she frightened him with the horrifying story of a ghost in a dark chamber. It happens that when children, we have to make children listen to us. Then we tell them a little horror story that if you don't do this, if you don't study, if you don't eat this, then there's a ghost sitting in a dark chamber, and he's going to come if you don't oblige by what we say. And then Swami Shri Yukteswar, he immediately went to that dark chamber to see that ghost. And he very sadly, very disappointed, he came out of the room and he said, Mother, you said that there's a ghost there, but I see no ghost. Where is that ghost? I want to see him. I want to meet him. And then the mother realized that she cannot scare Sri Yukteswar. And after that incident, Swami Shri Yukteswar's mother never told any other horror story to him. So Swami Shri Yukteswar added that the moral of the story is that look fear in the face and it will cease to trouble you. So, running away from fear is not the solution to get away with it. It's just in facing the fears that makes the fear completely vanish from our lives. So this was the first story, along with its moral shared by Sri Yukteswar to Yogananda. So let's listen to the second story. So Swami Sri Yukteswar said that once when he was a child, he had a very strong desire to have an ugly dog, and this ugly dog, it belonged to his neighbor. So, Swami Sri Yukteswar, he found this dog very charming despite its unattractive appearance, and he wished to have only this dog and only this dog as his pet. So many attempts were made by his family that no, you have some other dog who is more attractive, who is more, cuddly, you have another dog. But Swami Sri Yukteswar said, no, I want only this dog. And, and then Swami Sri Yukteswar shared the moral of the story, which he learned later in his life. So he shared that, his attachment to the dog, despite its outward ugliness. So this symbolizes how people, they often form attachment to external and transient aspects of life. And in this case, dog represents material possessions or relationships that may not necessarily bring that lasting fulfillment or happiness. We think sometimes that only going to a particular place for vacation, only having that worldly object, dress, shoes, anything it can be. And we think that only having that thing will give us that happiness. But the truth is that no worldly thing can give that happiness, as happiness is found in our very own selves. It is our innate nature. And the outside world is just the reflection of our inner world. So, through this story, Swami Sri Yukteswar is teaching that one should transcend attachment. One should go beyond attachment. And this attachment can be to people, can be to any worldly thing. It can be to anything. And now the third and the last story that Swami Sri Yukteswar shared was that, once his mother, she remarked occasionally that a man who accepts a job under anyone is a slave. So when Swami Sri Yukteswar was a child, then his mother said this, that a man who accepts a job under anyone is a slave. And now this impression got fixed in his heart and mind for the rest of his life, that even after his marriage, he refused to work under anyone. He said that if I work under anyone, it will mean that I'm a slave to him, and I don't want to be a slave for anyone. So he met his expenses by investing his family's asset in land, and he refused to work for anyone for his life. So Swami Sri Yukteswar said that the moral of the story is that the words and beliefs of parents or an influential figure can have a profound impact on a child's psyche. And the messages that children receive during their formative years can leave a lasting mark on their consciousness and shape their decisions and actions as a result. So, this message, friends, is for the parents and is for the mentors to be mindful of the messages that they convey to their children, and that they should offer guidance that nurtures the potential, that helps the children to make decisions which is in alignment with their true aspirations, because you don't know how your remarks will be taken by the children. So these were the three stories that Swami Sri Yukteswar he shared with Yogananda of his childhood. And friends, with this we end our session for today, and we will continue our learnings about Yogananda's time with Swami Sri Yukteswar, about what more did he learn with being in the company of his Guru. And we will also learn about Yogananda's meeting with a saint who never used to sleep. So he was called as a sleepless saint. And Masters, today we end the session with something very special. We will hear the words of Yogananda in the voice of Yogananda on how to destroy suffering from its roots. So let's hear the words of Yogananda on how can one destroy suffering from its roots. So let's close our eyes, Masters, so that each word that Yogananda says, it penetrates into our consciousness and we realize its true meaning.
Always be prepared. You are in his show.
Are you able to hear? Okay.
Always be prepared. You are in his show. Don't have your own desires. Don't think I am this big man doing these things. You are a part of the show. And you will see a magic transformation in life. No sorrows can get you as soon as you give everything to the Lord. Good and evil, give it to the Lord. And he will take you away from evil. Give it to the Lord. Give it to him. That beam makes the villain and beam makes the hero. Beam makes all the evils of the villain and beam makes all the virtues of the hero. Give it to him. That's the great spiritual method of destroying sorrow, is giving it all to him. The ultimate, the spiritual suffering due to ignorance, you read scriptures and then your brain begins to hurl, you don't know who is right. Why read too much? That's why Master ridiculed every time I had a book with me. And he used to show me the flaws. But I realized what he wanted. He said, what's the use of reading too much? He said, feel them. He gave me a few aphorisms and made me feel, then he said, you know the rest. And I knew the key and I knew the scriptures, that's why. I don't talk from reading books. I have a whole library there. I have never read 20 books in all these years and never finished them. I received infinitely from the inside. And if I had read books, I would be exhausted in a very little while. I can talk to you all day long. Any question you ask me. It is because I go into the library of Gita. All thought is drawn from that ether. Inventions and every method is drawn from the infinite. By reading books, you get only just one angle of somebody. By going there, you get all the angles. Go there. Read 1 hour, write 2 hours, think 3 hours, and meditate all the time. Then you will get everything. Then you won't have to read. You won't have to write. Spiritual suffering, ignorance cannot be destroyed by reading all the books. You haven't the time to read all the books that are in the library. What are you going to do? So when you have pain and suffering, there are 2 ways of destroying physical, mental, and spiritual suffering. The obvious methods of destroying ignorance or mental suffering or physical suffering by drinking all the medicine, going to all the chiropractors or electric treatments, it may help a little bit. They all help. We are not fanatics. When there is a little cut, put a little iodine. Yes. But don't think that the healing is going to come from there. The healing is from God. And if God doesn't want to heal, nothing will help it. That's the proof. That you see that these sufferings by obvious methods of cure does not destroy the root of suffering because they recur. What's the panacea for destroying suffering by the roots, that there will be no recurrence? By yoga.
So, Masters, how beautifully Yogananda ji has shared that the suffering, to destroy suffering from its root, is yoga. That is union with the infinite. That is all healing. It only comes through the divine. If the divine doesn't want healing to take place, nothing can work. So, Masters, this was today's session, and I open this platform for you all to share your experiences, to share your takeaways, and anything that you would like to share. Thank you.
Yes, friends, anyone would like to share your understanding, because it was a lot of energetic today, Ruchi. So I also would like to hear if anyone would like to share. If not, then I would love to share. So yes, so the moment, you started the session, I already felt like some great energies, and I felt that how we should also need to connect with ourselves, like with our inner guru, who is our breath, and also the physical guru who showed us the path on this. So this beautiful meditation, like when you went away, like we did like 10 minutes, and I felt even that was for purpose, because even I was playing Patriji's music and flute music, and I felt like the divine presence of everyone, not just one person. So it is meant to happen that way. And it is not just one time, it is like 2 times, meaning like there's quite a lot also to learn for us, that how we have to be, we need to have that desire in listening to what you're going to say, and at the same time to learn the patience. So it's such a beautiful thing that everything happens for a reason. And today's one is also quite a lot, because I'm trying to write down, and there were so many points where I can't even put my pen at some point. And the beautiful fact is that how Ananta has realized about his brother, that there is quite a lot to learn about Yogananda there, because right from the beginning, his quest or his intention was always to go and meditate and to seek his guru and to find his higher purpose. But yet he has been kept in many situations where he might forget and he might pursue his studies or anything else. Nothing has distracted. And not just one time, and right from the childhood. I also still remember my time, because like even me, I have started the meditation journey from my 3rd standard, like a saint from the Himalayas, he came, and it was like such a rare thing that happened. And I started to do the meditation. However, like, I just forgot. So it was like quite a lot of learning also for me to understand how we should be so determined in our practice, not only just thinking, like the age. Now I see the soul age of Yogananda. So, and also the way that he was questioning about Yukteswar Giri to understand about his, personality. And the very first fact is about the fear. And when you're mentioning, I was also recollecting my mom, because like I don't eat curd at all. So when I have fevers, like when I was a child, any teacher or any person who scolded me, I used to get fever. It's like instant. The fever is like, so doctors always say, like, feed her with some nice food. And my mom thought like yogurt is the only one which I have to eat at that time. So I was unable to eat, and she took me to the higher, like upstairs, where it is completely pitch dark. And she says like, you see, if you don't eat, the devil is next beside you. So yes, we all have gone through such sort of things, but I'm it was a true delight to see these masters' journey, when they say like, yeah, there is a devil. Okay, now let me go and explore where it is. I'm sure I'm not such a person, but I'm so honored to see because there is quite a lot to learn. And layer by layer, we also get through the fears. Some we incorporate over the years, and yet we just need to let go. And about the dog that he mentioned, and the final one is the beautiful message. It's for everyone. Majority is from the parents, because like, the children in their early ages, they are open-minded. They don't have any sort of society pressures or logical mindset. They only believe what we are being said. And parents, that's very true, that they have to be really aware of the words that they speak, because that's how children start forming the attitudes. And so what can I say? It's such a beautiful journey. And I also would like to share a bit of my journey as well here. When you were saying about the Vrindavan, how Paramahansa Yogananda, along with Jitendra, right, his friend, yeah, he went. So for me, I also wanted to share like the short journey of my masters as well. So like how I started to do my masters is all like, I only have the intention that I wanted to do masters. So during that time, we lost all our properties. So there was a zero, like no penny at all. However, there was an email which came to me that there was one university, the professors who were coming to India itself, and they will be doing interviews. And this email has not gone to any person in the college. It came to only me. I don't know how. I started to question, I started to ask many people, like, did you got this email? But not to anyone. So it came to me. I met the consultancy. I have gone through the interviews. So it was not a short interviews. There were 528 applications, like interviews have been done. And 12 people have been selected. So I'm one among them. So now is the time, like, okay, now I have been selected. So how can I start my journey? Because in this time, like everything is related with money, and we don't have money at all. So my father said, now I can't help anymore. So we started to ask relatives. Everyone said like, not possible, because you need to think of your situation. And I was keep on speaking with people. I never gave up, because I'm a person, if I think that I wanted to achieve, I never give up. So I was keep on speaking. So at some point, I don't know, friend of friend who spoke with me and said like, why don't you apply the loan online? Because when we apply the loan online, no one has got the right to, remove your application. They have to consider it. So that's how it started. And even that, there was a lot of complicated procedure with signatures and so on. But I can only say that without even having that zero state, I know the struggle of mine and how I got, like how I have convinced my parents. And even my parents, I said, you don't do anything. You just come and you just sign on the loan papers. Everything, I will take care of it. So but this was a bit of effort. And also I know that how I will be going. So what I can also relate here is, I know that in this stage, like for sure I'll be going to masters, but the dedication that how we have to keep on going. So this is the thing that I relate to even Yogananda here, that how he was so determined in his practice, and he was like, his only thing is like wherever he go, that God will be taken care of. And he was keep on going of how many tests he has been kept. He was just keep on going into his sadhana. So it's not only the material things, everything falls into a place when we were determined in what we want. So this is in short that I wanted to share. Sorry for taking a bit of time, but I'm glad that you touched me. And even in the last points, of course, there are also fears. So it's truly something that, yes, we have to trust ourselves, and any relation or any material possessions, everything is temporary. So yeah, thank you.
Wow, Nilima, that was so amazing. I'm short of words in describing in just what you said so beautifully. And thank you for sharing your personal experience and for being a living example that it's not the money that sustains us. If the will of divine is there, then he will devise 1,000 number of ways that his devotee gets what he wants. So, Nilima, thank you so much for sharing all your experiences, and it was beautiful listening to you. Thank you.
Sorry that I was a bit emotional, and yeah.
No,
So
not
I
at
have
all.
to turn off.
Not at all. When we listen to you, you bring in the summary of the whole session so nicely, along with your personal experiences, and we also get a chance to learn from each other. Nilima, thank you.
Thank you, Ruchi.
Yes, Sindhuja ji, please, you can unmute yourself.
Yes. Hello, ma'am. Very good evening. Good evening, hello, masters. Lot of learning today. I'm really bit emotional as well. I learned my insecurities, for example, one, if I have to mention, fear is one of them. So many insecurities which I have been feeling since the childhood, maybe. I have got learnings from your sessions, ma'am. Thank you so much for even I am very much moved today, more so thank you so much, ma'am. I don't know what to say. I would definitely read this book. I've not yet started this book. I really want to know more about it. Even to come here and speak, it's like not an easy thing for me. I'm a very silent girl like that. Since childhood, I have been given labels as well from everybody around me. So I'm not sure how this journey of learning will be, but definitely I'm not someone in future who will be not learning. I will not be someone who will stop learning at any stage of my life, in any instance related to anything. Maybe my insecurities, coming above my insecurities is one of them. So yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. I'm really moved by your sessions every day. Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you, Nilima, ma'am, for summing up beautifully. Thank you.
So, Sindhuja ji, we salute to your courage of sharing with all of us so bravely, so boldly your fears and facing your fears by expressing yourself. I remember Patriji's words on how to come out of fears. Even Patriji says that if you have to come out of fears, you have to face them. First time we will be very anxious and very nervous. Second time, the intensity of that anxiety and nervousness will be less. Third time will be even less. And the fourth time, we will be so comfortable as if we did not had that fear at all. So, Sindhujaji, your determination and your will to be always open and to experiment with things, that is what counts. And thank you. And, it's beautiful to have your sharing, Sindhujaji. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
So I think, Ruchi, shall we do like a short meditation, just 10 more minutes?
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, I will stop the live stream. So thanks a lot, everyone, friends, for who are also listening on YouTube and joining for this beautiful, beautiful session. So a guru has really touched our lives in this session. So thanks a lot, Ruchi. And I also have seen like how you are also trying to take the energy and, trying to put the wisdom, and it can be clearly seen also from your energetical point of view. Thanks a lot. And yes, I would like to